7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So one of the things you need to be learning today is that God has chosen you. He chose the nation of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You're saying you were Seminole Indian, correct?
Yes, sir.
From the tribe of Gad, one of the 12 tribes of Israel. He chose you, your family, your seed, to be special above everybody on the face of the earth. Now this is what you're supposed to do. That's one thing you can teach your kids, but this is what you're supposed to be doing on a day-to-day basis. Read it.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 7.
Start at 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 1. Now these are the commandments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you.
Commandments. This is what God said we're supposed to do. Read that one time.
Now these are the commandments, the statutes and judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Jump down to 7.
And thou, Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently.
Talk about the commandment. Teach them diligently, meaning carefully,
I started doing drugs too, so.
Commandments in itself.
She said she stopped.
Oh, all praise for that.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
Teach what?
And
teach them what?
I do.
What you supposed to teach them?
The commandments.
Right? Yeah.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
You're sitting in the house with the kids. You're supposed to be talking about the commandments, teaching. Yeah.
They in college, but I'm staying on their Facebook
It's
page.
never no limit. There's no limit until you gone. You're supposed to be teaching.
Yes, sir.
And when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
When you walking by the way, walking up down the street, going to the park, going to get something to eat, you're supposed to be teaching the kids about the commandments.
And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
You're supposed to be teaching them day in, day out. So that's all they see is commandments. When they wake up, it's commandments. When they go to sleep, they're thinking about keeping the commandments. That's what we're supposed to be doing as Israelites.
Okay.
Let's get Deuteronomy.
So all of this
10
right
and
here.
12. We're going to get to that if you got time. We can get to
My
that.
bus coming. I gotta go to make friends again all the time. Devil broke mine, so my kids gave me some money to go buy me a motorcycle. And
All right, go ahead.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12.
So you know that you are Israelite. You know that it's commandments that we're supposed to be keeping. What God say? Go ahead.
And now, Israel, what does the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
He said to fear the Lord. He said one of the things he required you is to fear him. Fear him first. Let's get there. How to fear the Lord.
Psalms chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
So you want wisdom, you want knowledge, you want understanding to be able to deal with life day to day, how to deal with family members, friends, all these different things. First, you got to start out by fearing the Lord. Read that again.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
Right.
His praise endureth forever.
So you're saying,
hair like you, I gotta give me some more dreads, and I see Colorado. It's big. Yeah.
so in order for you to get that understanding as to what's really going on right there, you got to start keeping the commandments. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. Wisdom. Seek him first to get that understanding as to what's going on and what's on these signs while we out here today. Read that again.
I'm not just saying talking to her last
Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. And now, Israel, what does the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
All thy heart and all thy soul. Every day we supposed to be waking up, being glad that we woke up to be able to serve the Most High. Keep his commandments. heart, with all our soul. We're supposed to wake up joyful and ready to do these things.
That's right.
Because he woke you up, he chose you, he gave you laws that you can.
Y'all, I was sick, I am, but
You get Proverbs 20 and 29. Well, this is what we supposed to, this is the whole purpose of what you here for. Well,
and it makes me nervous and scared.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
So what the brother was just bringing out is that the whole duty of man, his chosen people, is to keep his commandments. That's it. Keep his commandments and live, we'll be straight. But apparently, since we don't know that, something else went wrong. You know? What we're gonna do is start breaking down these signs, what you see before you. It's gonna give you an answer to what you seek in life. For instance, why you don't know who you are according to the scriptures. Why you had to find that out today? When the other nations, the other races of people, they understand and they know clearly who they are. If you ask them where they from, where their bloodline started, they can give you a whole book, a whole history of their
Now I
family.
know what mine.
Huh?
Now I know what mine started.
Where did they start at?
Right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole history is in the Bible. Your whole history. This is your
Y'all
book.
got another Bible?
Not one I can just part with.
I can show it while I'm reading.
So, like I said, we're gonna break down, if you got time, about all these different signs of how it pertain to you and us as a people, as a nation, the Israelites. We're here for one reason, and that's to help you and our other brothers and sisters. Some of them. But Lord knows the chiefs that I just gave.
What about chicken? Is that good enough?
I see you got a lot of questions.
Yes, and I really don't have time. But how, are y'all out here like every day?
The Lord will make time for you. So whatever you got going on, he'll make time for you. It's the reason why he brought you here. Get that.
It is Proverbs 20 and 24.
But I will ride my bike downhill from way across town just to hear y'all word again.
Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way?
One more time.
Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way?
See, you ain't come over this way just because you wanted to. And it ain't a reason that we just decided to come out here this day. The Lord made that all work together so you can get the understanding as to who you are, what's required of you, why we as a nation, people in the condition that we're in today. Man's goings is not of his own, but of the Lord. The Lord made you do that. Jump down to 21. Would you consider yourself to be king and queen? Royalty?
Yes.
Okay. Read that. Verse 21 and 1.
Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
King, the queen, your heart, which is your mind. Go ahead.
As the rivers of the water, he turneth it whatsoever he will.
Just like the river, the Lord gonna turn you however he want to turn you. That's how you ended up. You might have thought you was doing it on your own will. Nah, the Lord brought you this way.
Because I kept trying to go, no. It's just like
I'm gonna
that
tell you, I
energy
seen you
pull.
go up there. You was looking. You wanted to know what the hell was going on. I seen you up there looking. You drove around, you rolled around, parked over there, and you was kind of nervous to come up here. But come on over here. Now you got more education on who you are, more knowledge on what's required of you, things that can help build you and your family. And you only been here, what, 5-10 minutes? The Lord brought you here. We've been learning and building ourselves up to come out here, humble down, and teach our people. We can't hold all this knowledge to ourselves. We've been studying and building and raising ourselves up to come out here and deal with our own people. But we see the oppression, what's going on in the world. Nobody has the answer, but the answer always been right in front of us. So we humble down and read, open this book to find out what's really going on. Somebody had to teach us, so now that we've learned, we don't know everything. But now that we've learned, we got to be out here doing this.
How can I order like one of those shirts?
The shirt ain't gonna change your life.
It
That shirt ain't got nothing to do with this.
It
Is
just feel
something
holy.
to help identify who we are. That's it. We are a nation of Israel, just like you are. We come out here on the Saturdays and teach our people. Shirt ain't gonna make no difference. Make no difference. Like say, she talking about the garment.
How the garments would make a difference. So I'll let you talk about it. You know what I'm about to get. Deuteronomy 22:5.
Yeah, that make a difference.
All right.
This is a commandment he can break down.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
What is something that a woman wears today that a man wears?
I had no clue.
Read it one more time for the sister.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a
Oh,
man.
like what I got on.
Okay. Read the whole thing then, so you get to understand.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth to a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
What is something that a man, if a man put on a skirt, if he had on skirts and dresses, would you listen to him?
No.
Wow.
Because
It's out of order, correct?
got sick.
Exactly. You can take
And
that
I
serious.
look like a dude.
So the Most High is telling the men not to put on a woman's garment, which is a dress and skirt.
Like what they doing right now.
So what is he saying to the women?
Don't dress like this. Because of a man.
Let me show you something. I trade with you. They accepted what they put on. There's no such thing as these are women's pants. Pants is pants. You can try to disguise it however you want to. Most High God said the woman's not supposed to wear pants. You can look in history books, you can look on TV and movies. Anything from 1950 on back, you will not see a woman wearing any pants. Even in the field, like slavery, they were wearing what? Always wearing dresses. And a woman, when she wore the dress, she was considered feminine, royalty. But today, this is what you see. It started in the 60s and 70s, wearing pants, little skirts, showing more and more skin. Until now, in the present day, you got men wearing skirts and the women dressing like men. The roles are reversed. Women say they can do anything a man can do, to the point where they marrying other women. Men doing the same thing. Americans say the God we trust, but God say it's a dress code. Men are not supposed to lay with mankind, lay with men like they lay with a woman, and vice versa with the woman. But America say you can do that. You know, all this is just from one commandment, Deuteronomy 22:5. It's a dress code. Our people have a dress code, a way of being, a way of living. He chose one nation of people, and he gave them laws, statutes, and commandments to live by. That's a way to dress, the foods to eat, how to treat each other, how to deal with each other. All these different laws, statutes, and commandments. But America, the media, the magazines, they're not going to teach you.
Precept. In Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
Rudiments of the world. That's what you get when you watch TV. You got people making all these scripts and putting movies together to portray a certain image.
And tell us the vision.
Exactly. When I was coming up, they used to call it the Devil's Playground.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
So, what the brother bringing out is, you can't be trusting in what they put on the TV. But they sell us in the music, in the songs, because they'll have our people going out.
Blasphemy, Jesus. I don't care how you cannot
all this different stuff transpired because we broke God's commandment. And we gonna prove it. Let's get Deuteronomy 1:1, Deuteronomy 20:81, and 28:15. Because you know that you're an Israelite.
And that's the encyclopedia. Right here.
Wikipedia.
Those are
And we
dudes
going
over
there
there.
for
Alright. What we're gonna do now is establish who God gave his laws to, all statutes and commandments. You were familiar with Moses?
I'm getting there. I ain't gonna lie and say,
Okay,
yeah,
well-
I'm trying.
Moses was chosen by God to go to Egypt and free the Israelites. So after Moses did what he did, we as a people, he led us into the wilderness. And this is where we're gonna pick up at.
He the same one who said, "Let my people go." That sound familiar?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
All Israel, not everybody in the world, but all Israel. So right there, that's letting you know Moses is speaking to 12 tribes of Israel.
And if a man rape a woman, he calls himself a man of God, but he got a pyramid in the third eye. That's not our God he worships, right? Like, I should go kill that. In God's hand.
Any man of God rape you. But we ain't gonna go to that right now. We gonna stay on track with the small stuff. Build you on up to who you are, what you're supposed to be doing. So we established that Moses was only speaking to the Israelites in the wilderness. This is after he freed them through the strength of the Most High God. And now they're in the wilderness. They parted the Red Sea, walked across the Red Sea. Now they're in the wilderness. Let's get 28, Deuteronomy 28.
Deuteronomy
You don't
20.
see no white people.
There you know.
That's just talking.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass.
It's going to happen.
If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth.
Most High God was saying, if we hearken, meaning listen, our 2 ears, and do his commandments, then we will be set on high above all nations, meaning
I
above.
just go catch my bus. I'm about to go, but thank y'all so much.
Make sure you read it.
I
Don't lose
surely
it.
will. And y'all be out here again Saturday? I will ride down here. Thank you.
Make sure you keep this.
Yes,
More
I
important
am.
than anything else you're trying to do.
Thank you.